Hello there, my name is Stephanie Fuccio, and I used to be a language teacher, and now I'm a language learner of simplified Mandarin Chinese. I currently live in Shanghai, China, which is what is in that map right there, and that is the very strong reason why I am learning Mandarin Chinese right now. Now, I've always, even though I was a language teacher for over a decade, in Japan as well, so it's nice to be back. It's always been really hard for me to learn languages. So I decided that this time around, one, I wasn't going to stop, and two, I was going to do everything I hadn't done before. I was going to look for every resource, and I was going to try to think outside the box and use tools and methods and different things that I had never used before, because what I used before, what I did before, my mindset before hadn't worked for me. In short, it's been a little over a year. And I'm taking the HSK tests, which is the global Chinese language tests, and I've taken 1 and 2 quite successfully, and I'm taking 3 in December of this year, so wish me luck. The biggest things that I've done differently are twofold. One is that I've started a YouTube channel because I started a YouTube channel called Changing Scripts. And that's where I saw a lot of language learners vlogging their experiences, and I thought, okay, I've never done that. I've never methodically journaled my language learning experience, so I'm going to try that. In the process of doing that, I met a lot of people that were learning different languages, and I met a lot of people that were learning Mandarin Chinese as well, only they were much further along in the process. So I started to interview them, and our conversations got really long. So that ended up being a podcast, which is the Changing Scripts podcast. So these are two different entities. The YouTube channel follows me in my clunky process in learning the language, but forward-moving process, and the podcast follows is conversations with language learners. And it's also conversations with native speakers of Mandarin Chinese, and their experiences learning other languages. So it's kind of coming in and out of the Chinese language, of Mandarin Chinese, in that experience. What's happened over the past year and a half is that in vlogging my experiences and talking to people on YouTube, I've really been able to talk through my process and to talk through what is working, what's helping me learn the vocabulary, what's helping me get over the initial hurdle with going from the Latin script in English and other European languages that was very comfortable to the Hanzi characters and all of that, all of the challenges that come with that. So I've been able to talk through the experience, not just in my videos, but with the people who leave comments, my viewers. Some of them have become friends. I've met some of them in person. So it's really been a really interesting experience. The language learning vlogging community on YouTube is pretty big. I didn't even know it was there until I started doing this. I wish I had known this as a language teacher. But if you just kind of Google or go into YouTube and search for language vlog or language learning or polyglot, and you use those search terms, you'll be surprised. Or maybe you won't, but I was surprised how many people are doing this in different languages. And a lot of the polyglots are doing multiple languages. And they're not just showing you what they've learned. Again, the interesting part for me was to break down my process, to see other people's process, to maybe get some ideas, even if they're learning a different language. And to take on some of their processes and to analyze it in my videos, to show people what I'm doing, to tell them if it's working a few days or a few weeks later, and to do all of that. And so by talking to people about the language, really analyzing my process at every step that I go, I really feel like, even though I'm super far away from being fluent still, because this is a really big leap for me, and it's the first language that I've ever studied this intensely, this long, and I can read finally, albeit very limited graded text, but I can read, but my productive skills are going to take some time to come out, but I haven't given up. And so these two things that I've done, the vlog, the language learning vlogging, and the podcast, have been really a motivator to keep me going, both because of the audience, because of the process, because of the reflective thing that it makes me do. It's just been an amazing process. So I strongly suggest that anybody that's thinking about it, it starts to take a look and maybe start your own YouTube channel or whatever local video channel is in the country or city that you're in, and try it out. And by all means, please check out my projects as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.